years, many years ago, I was, I had ran my own program. This was back in 2000 called Upward Challenge. And that program had, young kids in it, same age as yours. And, I had a few teenagers, but most of them were pretty young, elementary school and maybe beginning of middle school. And yeah, I know how you feel. Like it's difficult, the attention span sometimes is not there. But the thing that I learned from, running that program was that they do listen and they do remember and they do, carry that with them as they get older. So like, I ran into a couple of them that, they were in high school, and they remember who I was, and they was like, yeah, I remember we was in the Upper Challenge and blah, blah, blah. I still got my shirts, and and it's like, wow, at that point, I didn't even think they were paying attention, but they do. So it's a good thing,
they do. They definitely do. And I got 5 on up to 20 something. And this camp is from like 5 to about 10. And after summer school, I have more, but a lot of my kids are in summer school. The older ones are in summer school. But yeah, it's catching on. They engage. I never taught anything. I never did anything, but I just have a way of relaying. That's one of my mentors told me years back. He said, you got a way of going in high level and coming back and telling the ordinary person on the corner what we just talked about without using language. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, that's your gift. You know what I'm saying? That's your gift. Like you can go in those big rooms, get down to a person that don't know nothing about that without using these big words that scare people off. And I think it's similar to what I talk about the kids. Our kids won't know about money. So they might not know about it on a high level, but they know about money, but they just know about the spending. I just spend it. So that's the part I attack right now. It's not even about you learning about the whole game. You got to start investing. You got to, but what is investing? What is a stock? What is this? What is that? Yeah. So it's basic level that I give it to them, and then we grow into the rest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's how you take, some young kids and you start them playing, piano at 5. And they end up becoming, classic pianists and by the time they even leave high school, they're at expert level. So if you don't start at that level, will they ever pick it up is a question. So you never know. So I commend you for doing that. Like I said, your patience is greater than mine. I stick with them teens and them little ones I don't know about.
and that's the beautiful thing about meeting you. Talk to other people I just stick with teens, and teens are definitely focused on because teens are that we got a lot of youth programs, but we don't have we have a lot of youth programs like mine, but we have a lot of youth programs. But that teens are just like you got a lot of teen programs, and that's why I did salute Ben on when he did. He came by today to and stuff like that. So I'll be saluting people that deal with the teens because next week I out attention judge because I do have I talk to you now. I do understand that our teens are kind of just left out there on the island. So now to me it all goes together though, from the teens to the young adults, even on to the adults. It's not a one fix all we have, and that's why I love coming together with you and with your incubator and what you do with your academy and everything, and that's why it's so powerful. So I'm glad to just have. I had already went live and everything, you know what I'm saying? So we haven't definitely introduction, but episode of Wealth is Gangster. I got a great guy. I've been seeing from I finally got to meet a couple of weeks ago, you know what I'm saying? And we just hit it off, and I've been thinking about it in our conversation ever since. So I've been eager to sit down with you and have this conversation live, but then ready for our next sit down that's not going to be so live, so we can start and things of that nature, man. So welcome to the Wealth is Gangster family. Introduce us and give us a little background about you before we get into everything that I want to ask you tonight.
All right, no problem. Thank you, man, for inviting me. Like, normally I don't really do podcasts or anything, because as you know, I'm kind of an introvert. I kind of stay in the background, and I don't really put myself out there like that. But just a little bit about me, for whoever's listening is, I started at a young age, so I became, a business owner, and working my way up because I had a lot of opportunities thrown my way coming from South Central Los Angeles, and being involved in gangs and gang violence and a part of that whole system. For me, I think I never really put a focus on building for myself. And I think that's hard for some people to understand. It's like, well, you got a business and you own a lot of things, but the things that I've built were built with other people in mind. So you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't work, if I don't, push towards the people. And that's the way I was kind of raised. So, that's what my background is, in basically my gift, like yours, was mentorship. And a lot of people be like, well, ain't a profession. Well, yeah, it is. Because my mentor, that's what his gift was. Even though he was an actor, even though he, went through a lot back when he was going through what he was going through, his mentorship is what spilled over onto me. And as that mentorship spilled over onto me, I took it a little bit further. I just decided that, I don't want to leave this planet with people going, oh, we know him because he had money, or because he was this. No, I want him to go, man, you know what? The impact he left on me was ridiculous, and I need to keep that going, keep that legacy flowing. So, that's a bigger part of who I am. I'm just about legacy building, man. Not even, and you made a statement the last time we were talking, and you were saying what the wealth is gangster. And I know I messed it up. I was trying to talk to somebody about wealth is gangster, what it was. But I need you to spill that out again for everybody that's listening, because that's very important of how you look at wealth is gangster. I couldn't put it in the words that you could put it in, but kind of spill that out again.
Because where we from, we're I don't like to paint everything as a broad brush, but as a whole, we look at our kids want to be real, hard, gangster, whatever you want to call it. Our kids want to be that, and us fighting against that, obviously, because it haven't worked in this many decades or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So what I want to, okay, you can be real, you can be gangster, you can be hard, you can be all these words, but let's put a different definition on it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when I came with the wealth is gangster, you want to be a gangster, the biggest gangster. You need to own the block. You need to be a man for your family. You need to be, you know what I'm saying, starting schools and starting curriculum, writing books. That's just as gangster as the dumb stuff that we taught. You know what I'm saying? That is the biggest lie. So when I wrote my book, The Streets Lied to Us, that's what I had in mind, and that's why my chapters is not chapter 1, chapter 2. It's trap 1, trap 2, because these are mental traps in our mind. Perceive as real, what we perceive as gangster, and that's why I run with it. A lot, I push back on the word gangster, this and that. And I'm like, well, you keep fighting that fight. I don't know how with you, but the youth that I talk to, when I talk to them about being gangster, they take it in. Okay, I do want to be gangster, but that sounds more interesting than this stuff I'm going through now. And so that was my whole spin on it, because I remember being that same kid that I want to be a gangster, but I want to be whatever I needed to be looked at as someone in my neighborhood.
And that is why I wanted you to explain that, because I kind of started adapting, not the wealth is gangster motto or mantra, but using it like when I come across, like juveniles and stuff, and they hear my background and they be like, oh yeah, you straight triple OG, and I'd be like, I'd be like, I might be triple OG, but I'm not the triple OG that you think I am. I'm a triple OG of, legacy building. I'm a triple OG of building wealth and, you know what I'm saying, and prosperity for, you know, the culture. And then they look at me kind of different because they never heard of it that kind of way.
Yeah.
You know, and that's cool, man. I'm glad somebody has to look at how the new generations are moving and how they're learning. Okay, like I'm from the baby boomers, and my generation created the wealth in this country. Okay, but where we failed at was we didn't teach nobody else how to do it. That's where we failed at. It's like, yeah, we created it and we made it what it was, and then we didn't think to pass it down to our kids or whatever. So the generations that came after us are all experiencing that. And, you know, once my generation, you know, kind of departs the planet, it's going to be up to, you know, your generation and the generations beyond to really get this right in order for us, you know, to survive. And that's what's important to me is like, you know, every time I run across somebody, Tony, I'm like, you know, they're like, oh, you're successful and all this. And, you know, I don't really care about any of that. I don't care about things. I don't care about stuff. I don't care about notoriety. I don't care about recognition. And you can ask anybody who's ever around me. I never talk about money. I never talk about money because it's irrelevant to what's going on, you know, in the real world. Okay. If we want to talk about something, let's talk about the lack thereof of, you know, our acceleration in our culture. You want to talk? That's what I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about followers and cash and diamonds. I don't care about none of that. I want to talk about the things that matter. And that's what I focus on. And, you know, in order to build something and be able to help others build it, you got to put it into place. And that's why I was saying it's, you know, I commend you for what you're doing with the House of Resources because it's definitely needed, man. It seriously is needed, you know, and maybe it may not be to other people's expectations, but it never will be to other people's expectations. You just got to keep it going for those that are out there that will utilize it, you know, sometime in the future or now even. So, you know, that's just my spiel on, you know, like who I am and what I don't buy into. You know, I'm not a difficult person. I'm actually a really nice person when you get to meet me. But I think sometimes people get a little standoffish when they start to find out real facts. And, you know, it's like, oh, well, I don't meet on his level. Everybody meets on my level. I don't care where you come from. You know what I'm saying? Because all that other stuff is irrelevant to what we're trying to do. And I get it. You know, today I was working on, you know, juvenile retention. And again, to explain that because it did not exist. Okay. It was no place in the universe or on the earth. Now, I don't know if it exists on the moon or Mars, but as far as I know, in this planet, juvenile retention did not exist. And I put a PowerPoint together. You know, I was revising it actually, and, you know, to present to, you know, some officials. And, you know, I sat back real quick, you know, after that. And I thought to myself, like, we need to do more of this because I actually created something that didn't exist, but it's going to help a whole lot of young people, a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's not about credit. It's not about, oh, I did it because I wanted to do something special. No, I did it simply because there was no middleman for that. And somebody had to be, you know, the catalyst for it. And so I did it. And that's how I look at what you're doing. You know, like you saw the house and you was like,
Yeah, I gotta go for it.
There you go.
And that's what, because I get it all the time. Because I go through with, it's not, I ain't gonna say it's headaches like it used to be, because I learned as I went on how I have been conditioned to move and think and act the way we do, right? So
Mm-hmm.
from that point of view, you don't take it as personal as you used to. Like a lot of people, well, I don't mess with them. I put up with all that. I couldn't do that. And I say, yeah, but that's why our community in the state we is, because don't nobody want to deal with that. Don't nobody want to put in that work. Don't nobody want to fight for change. And then when these kids doing all kind of crazy stuff, then we, oh Lord, what we gonna do? This and that. We, so we reactive people instead of proactive people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, Mama Brown.
Yeah.
So that's my point. And like I say, my biggest thing is the way we think, right? And I love to be challenged on the way I think, because I'm not the end all be all, but I definitely think outside of the way we've been programmed to think. So I love to challenge it, So we had that in our meeting about stuff that people asked me about the House of Resources. I told you about putting that mirror back in front of them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it goes back to just wanting to, even if I don't change your mind, I want you to hear yourself, and I want you to really think about it and what you was really saying. Because sometimes you could be saying something to somebody way and you don't even realize it, because you just been conditioned to think and talk like that towards your own people, because the other people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not I'm mad at you. I want you to, okay, everything you just said, this is why I'm gonna call you out on it, because I think like that and program to operate like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's so powerful. And I'm ready to jump in the loop. And like I said, I see you from afar. Her for just bringing me to the table to meet you, because that's what we got to do more of. You know what I'm saying? And you said it in the meeting. I'm doing my thing over here, you doing your thing over there, and we're not connecting. That's really going against what we say we're trying to do. If we really trying to do what we saying we're trying to do, there's no reason why we on some level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm appreciative of that. And I'm just, you've been doing, like, even as far as your plan that you did in already. I have a meeting next Friday with a judge. I need to be sitting down with you. I'm trying to figure out my heart what needs to be done, this and that. But why wouldn't I sit down with a guy already in place? I already got this and that, and I'm going to go sit with a judge. Why wouldn't I go in there with some of that in my back pocket? Like, hold on, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly. And that makes us stronger. A lot of times people don't understand, like when I talk about, connecting the dots and, us not really, working with each other and, not having that unity. I always said that, we do have unity. Like I was in gangs, I ran with gangsters and Crips and all this, and that was unity, but it was a different type of unity, and people don't look at it like that, but they were like, well, yeah, but no, we were unified. If you mess with one, you had to mess with all. It went down like that. But in today's world, you're absolutely right. Like us being apart from one another is hurting us more than it's helping us. This being singular, and I was explaining this, and maybe some people who are listening will understand it, maybe some won't. But, this is just my true opinion about why this disconnection of our culture is literally killing us and it's bankrupting us at an accelerated rate. One is because we are taking ourselves out of a consumer type, position. Like where we have money, our culture has money. We may not spend it on the right things, but it's there. We decide to buy the rims or buy the weed or, get the weave done or whatever. That money is flowing outwards away from, our culture. So nobody's getting to be able to utilize that money. And I'm talking about all of us as a culture
Sure.
when we spend our money like that.
Mm-hmm.
But when we start enormous amounts of business, it changes the mindset, Tony, that, okay, now I have a business, but I want to make money. So the way the script gets flipped is like, well, everybody out there should buy my products, but you won't buy from them as suppliers or dealers or whatever. You're buying your products to make your hair goop or your nail polish or your clothes from somebody totally irrelevant outside of the culture.
They can't stand you too, but they take your money.
Exactly. And so I was saying that that has a huge effect on why a lot of Black businesses can't scale up, and become profitable and sustainable. And, I know people don't like to hear these type of things, but it's true.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
sit back a lot of times, and I know I work with a lot of people who, they come through my office and they got businesses, and we get into that part when we start to talk about money, and then the whole conversation wants to change. Like, you come in wanting to, I want to build my business. I want it to be big. I want it to be this, and this. And when I start asking you, not even to pay me, but I'm just saying, I start asking you, like, how much money did you make last year? Can you pull out your balance sheet for me? Let me see you running this business. Let me see how you're operating. The narrative changes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, I didn't really, or they'll lie, which, they're not showing me through records that they actually made that amount of money. And that's the thing that I feel is plaguing us. If we're going to teach, and this is the reason why I did the incubators, and incubators are not just for the teens, they're for adults too. I have 3 different incubators that I run and have been running since 2017. And, I don't advertise it a lot. Most of the time, people that come to the incubator are people who are word of mouth. They know me, or, they know somebody, and they be like, hey, you need to go, need to go here.
Yeah.
But, I have one for veterans. I also have one for the teens, as you know, and I also have one, the bigger one, which is, I call the ICC Success Academy Incubator, which is a CEO Academy. And that one really dives deep into, business owners like yourself. I hit them hard. And this is just being truth on things that they just don't know, that they should know as a CEO. So, yeah, sometimes they feel inadequate because I come at them like that. But it's like, if you're going to survive against the competitors, you need to know this stuff.
No.
You can't say, and I know some people are gonna get mad at me watching this, but I am who I am.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it.
Say it.
You can't say you're a CEO if you don't really know and can do what a CEO does. Let me break this down to you, because I was put in my place. All right. And I think this is what humbles me, Tony, especially when it comes to the culture of me wanting to just do things that are right for us. I want us to own and claim our excellence, not fake it till we make it.
For sure.
Okay. And again, we've never had access to a lot of what our counterparts have access to.
For sure.
So since I've gotten that access, I've started challenging, these micro businesses and these small businesses to just do it right. You ain't gotta be perfect, but you gotta do it right.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna pick on anybody, but I'm gonna use myself as an example, because this is what happened to me that straightened me right up.
Yeah.
Some years back, I had put something online in social media, and a company challenged me, and they didn't do it. I don't think they did it on purpose. I think they really, this was maybe about 10, 12 years ago, when, I was just kind of, branching out into business and, doing things. I've been an entrepreneur and in business for years, mega years, but really taking on the position of like building a strong company. And I just came out, I think it was right in the beginning of ICC, and this company contacted me and they were like, we'd like you to come and meet with us because we want to offer you a position as CEO of our company. Let me tell you, this is a lesson I learned, bro.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay. And they were willing to pay, 6 figures a year, $275,000 a year to run this 150, employee company. All right, in California. And I really kind of froze, man, because I was like, I don't know what I'm getting myself into.
Yeah.
And and one of the things that was brought up, because I never really did fly to California to meet them, because we came up, over the Zoom thing, right? And they started reading off the position description of what the position would entail. And then they threw it back at me and they said, well, we saw you on social media and you seem to have all the qualities of a CEO that we want.
Yeah.
Bro, I couldn't feel not even a quarter of the things that was in that position description.
Yeah.
So, it hit me a certain kind of way. And, I checked myself and I was like, you know what? I need to know. I need to know these things. I can't just be out here throwing stuff out without me, knowing. So, I educated myself, did some of my own research, went to schools, paid my money, and I learned how to, put myself in that position where I could help others be that. And that's exactly what I'm doing. That's what the incubators does. It doesn't matter how old you are. It matters that you can comprehend and that you can remember some of the things that you will need to, embark on those ventures. And that's what I was saying to you about the House of Resources. It's the same thing. Even though those kids are young, I see who's talking to them. So, they're gonna know how to do things right. It's not like they're coming there to just be a glorified daycare center.
Yeah.
It's things that they need to learn, things that they need to know, all around, not just about business, not just about how to develop a product, not just about how to money, finances, growth and how to grow and sustain. All those things apply. And I didn't know that until I started educating myself. And I was like, so now I see when these CEOs go work for these companies, why they get paid so much. Because they're not just pointing fingers and saying this. They got their hands on everything. Everything. And I'm not just talking about wearing a hat in a micro business or a small business. I'm not talking about that. That's a gimme anytime you go into business when you're by yourself. But what happens as you grow? It's a question. If you're not prepared for that growth, there's going to be a lot of stuff happening that you probably don't want to deal with.
Yeah.
So that's, a little bit of, how I make my approach. And it's not to offend. No. It's not to, make people feel inadequate. I'm not the subject matter expert, but I will say I built my success off of doing it right, off of learning these things and talking with successors, who have been through those trenches. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the stuff I learned from them. Yeah. They up here making 20 million, 40 million, 150 million, 500 million. I ain't nowhere close to that. But at the same time, they're peeping that knowledge. They're giving me that game. They're telling me. So I'm prepared, as I grow the
That's
business,
wrong.
you know, and any business that I'm involved with. That's why I'm here. When I die, man, I'm being serious.
Yeah.
What am I going to do with this?
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
I need to spread it out now.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? And other people see it the other way. They're like, oh, well, yeah, people got to pay me for that, you know? And I'm just thinking like, for what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We can all eat. You know, we all learn. We can all eat.
Yeah.
That's the whole game.
You're more focused on the impact, and that's a lot of like you say, legacy. And only way, if you're concerned about legacy, that means you're concerned about impact. Most of us not. You know what I'm saying? Most of us worried about what we can get right now before we die and this and that. And that's why other cultures beat us, because Ford didn't say, I'm gonna start Ford so I can get it. He knew that my great grandkids gonna see the end result, but I'm gonna start this now. You know what I'm saying? And we have to get to that point where I'm not gonna see the full force of CEO Youth League or House of Resources, but in 100 years, I want to be on that wall when they got a House of Resources in every state, every city, this and that, and they're like, "This is the man that started it." That's I won't be able to physically see all the you know what I'm saying, and see the billion-dollar corporation or whatever, but I'll be remembered as the man that sparked the idea that my great grandkids or whatever could tell stories about. Hey, look at the YouTube channel, look at this stuff. They thought he was crazy back then, and now look at, you know what I'm saying? And once we start living for that, like you say, it's past the money. Do we need money? Yeah, of course we need money, but it's bigger than the money. You know what I'm like? When I tell people about the camp is $300 for 3 weeks. Believe me, I'm buying the food. $300 for 3 weeks for kids ain't no money. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm really like that. I'm really basically doing it for free when you add the food, when you add the all day care, and you add the lights and the stuff that the water bills, all that shot up since I'm gonna have kids for 3 weeks. All that's going up for those 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? But it's the legacy. I told a parent today, she's like, well, I'm trying to figure out I want to add this kid, but I'm trying to figure out the money. I said, okay, while you figure out the money, come drop them off and we'll figure it out together. I want to be impacting that child. I don't want that child just at home and you was able to get one child in, but now the other one's at home. Now bring them both and we'll figure out some money. Payment plans. Maybe you can't even do the whole 3. Hey, bring some juices and some waters. We'll figure out something. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm here for impact. You know what I'm saying? And that's bigger than any kind of money, man. So that's what, if our community gets to that mindset and that way of thinking, that's a game changer, just that within itself, because now it's a different ball game. We're playing with different rules. You know what I'm saying? So I'll get you on that impact. What made you focus on impact over income?
I think it was just the way I was mentored. Like my mentor, you know, I know you know, but this is for everybody who don't know. My mentor was a part of, you know, our Black history. Because even though he was in Los Angeles, he did a lot of great things that a lot of people in our culture don't even know about him. We know about the Frederick Douglass and the Harriet Tubmans, but, you know, Nick Stewart was an actor who, you know, played this character Lightning in Amos and Andy series. And I think my whole mindset and my whole impact and everything that I do is centered around keeping that legacy alive because of what he did. You know, he didn't really think about money, even though he was an actor, he was making good money. He built that theater from ground up. Now I'm talking about a block, not just like a House of Resources, right? It was a whole block of the theater, the barbershop, the retail store, the dress shop, or whatever. It was all in that one whole block. And what he did was he spent his own money. He didn't get no loans. There was no, grants or anything. You know, he took all of his acting money and he said, the one thing I want to do is I want to give my people and other people a chance to hone their crafts, learn, so they can go out and be great in these industries. And not just the entertainment industry, but, you know, he had photography, he had modeling, he had dancing, he had all of that in that theater. But the biggest thing I think that left the impact on me was the fact that, you know, he brought us through there, and I don't know if I said it, but the Ebony Showcase Theater. So if y'all look it up and read about Nick Stewart, you'll see that, you know, he's pretty historical. Okay. And the biggest impact he left on me was the fact that he saw all of us young people in the inner city one way. It didn't matter if you was the leader of the biggest gang on the planet or the dumbest box of rocks that couldn't, you know, get through school. He saw us all as one way. And that one way was, you're able to learn and do something that is going to impact others. And that was his whole teaching method. And so, and I took that on, you know, I was like, impact others? What about me? What about them?
Yeah,
you know, but that wasn't what he did.
Yeah, that's a natural way to think. What about me? I'm just focused on me.
Yeah.
I need to take care of mine. Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't bring us up like that. And some great people passed through that theater. Like when I was there, Kim Fields and Tommy Ford, you know, Karen White was there with us, and a whole bunch of Ben Vereen's sister was teaching the play, and they would come through. I mean, it was a lot of people who passed through there who are all doing great things, you know, after passing through there. But, you know, I think his legacy was just to leave that impact.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't get a chance to do it, he kind of did it through us.
Yeah.
Or some of us.
Yeah.
So, you know, I spin his story wherever I go. No. He's a part of me. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm trying to leave that with everybody else that I mentor.
As you should. Yeah.
Yeah. And just pass it on down and tell them, you know, it ain't about you. You know, it's about everything else, but it ain't about you. So
it ain't about you. Yeah. And I love what I love that you brought it up, because this is what I like, all the, and we tend to do this because we understand our people, right? So I noticed when you're about to say something that could be a little rough or a little, you always brace the crowd before you do that. But that's sad that we even have to do that, because
I know.
Like I tell people all the time, and I'm straight up, like I'm just straight up honest, because I'm my worst critic, right? Mm-hmm. So and I'm honest. I'm not here to high side, act like I'm bigger than whatever. I got a vision. Have I always done it wrong? No, because I came with a certain street mentality. Right. And I tell people all the time, you look at the Wealthiest Gangster CEO Youth League, my thrift store, barbecue sauce. I got a lot of chickens. I got a lot going on, right? But I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm running something that could be a potential $1 billion industry, and I'm running like a mom and pop store. Yeah. Because I know I'm not taking care of the business the way I should, because right. I wasn't this come out, what you see is off just hustle and grind and mindset. Mm-hmm. This ain't come from no books. This ain't come from me being around a bunch of gurus. Like in the last year or two, I just surrounded myself with people that had started, you know what I'm saying? Like mm-hmm. I started seeing it different and all that type of stuff. But we have to be real with each other about that. Yeah. Like if I want to get to a corporation status, a real legacy, 100-year, 200-year plan, why would I got this, I got that, I'm doing good. No, you ain't. Like, nah.
Exactly.
This stuff is raggedy. Like you need to put this together. It's great. It can be something magnificent, and it's cool. What you're doing now is cool, but it's not. You're still in high school level. You're not in the big boys. You're not a professional. And I'll be the first one to tell you that, because a lot of people say, "Oh man, you're doing it big." Yeah, that's because you're sizing me up against around here when people ain't doing nothing. It's easy to say I'm doing something big because ain't too many people doing nothing. So if I'm doing 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 things, I look like I'm just this guru that's doing it. No, I got a little more grind, a little more hustle, and that didn't put me in position that most people can't get with not too much mentoring and not too much that. But I'll be the first one to tell you, with everything that you see me got going on right now, nah, bro, I done really crumbed and hurt myself on impact. And that's how I look at it now. Because at first I used to be like, well, yeah, this is my mindset, and I'm cool. And I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm cool with this and I'm cool with that. but I can't be if I really say I want to impact and leave a legacy for hundreds of years. I can't be cool. It reminds me of the guys when I used to be on the street corner, be like, "Oh man, this is my way. This is the way I've been doing it, and ain't can't nobody change my mind." And I'm looking at your life like, you should let somebody change your mind the way you're living, the way your outcome. You should be open for a lot of suggestions. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what it reminded me. And as I got older, I seen my grandpa. Both of my grandpas died in their 60s, right? And both of them were like hard-headed, stubborn. One would not stop smoking because he just said, "This is my way." And and I always told myself, I never want to be the person that get older and said, "I've been doing it this way. I'm gonna do it that way."
Keep doing it, yeah.
You know, like I told myself that years ago. So now I find myself in that transition point where, yeah, it's cool, but now I sit at the table with guys like you, and I'm like, I got a mom and pop operation. Like straight up, like it's cool. It's definitely impactful, but it's impactful because ain't nobody doing nothing like this. So that's why it looks like it's super impactful. But what I really should be doing on a big boy level with big checks and big deals, man, I ain't there yet. I'm not there, bro. You know,
and you know what?
It don't hurt my feelings to say that because I know.
Right.
I know it's there. I know meeting people like you and dealing with it's there. It could easily happen like that in the next 6 months, year. That all that can change as long as I'm open to listen and to take that guidance and be ready to do whatever I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? So,
and I wish more people were like you, you know, in this world and especially in our culture. And so like I don't really sugarcoat anything.
yeah.
Like, you know, when I don't know somebody, I'm not judgmental. I don't judge people. You know, I don't say anything about them or about their operations or nothing. I just leave it where it is. But you know, if you somebody that I'm around, like I'm sitting at the table with you, I'll just be straightforward. I don't care if you get mad. I don't care if you don't like it. You know, and anybody will tell you that's who I am. But that's just because I'm like you. I care. You know, I don't like to lie to people. I don't want people walking around saying there's something that they're not, or not, you know, being able to prove those things. You know, I was always taught it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. And mom or pop or big company, it doesn't matter because all companies started as mom and pops. That's how they got there. You know, but you got to be willing to humble yourself enough to go, you know what? I'm a mom and pop right now. But as I learn, as I grow, as I connect with people, that's going to take those mom and pop thoughts to multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar operations. You know, I didn't just get my success overnight. I know that's how people think. They see it as like, oh, when they first meet you and you come in and they see you got this and you own that, and it's like, whoa, no, you're talking about. I'm not even going to say just the 15 years since inception, okay, of what I had to go through to get to where I am today. Let's tack on another 20 years of all the stuff that I was doing just to get to that point, to get to the inception. So you're looking at 30 plus years of just straight grind, hustle, ups, downs, bankruptcies. I done had two in my business ventures. You know what I'm saying? And everybody knows those last 10 years each. So, you know, that's 20 years of messed up credit and all kind of stuff going on. These are the things that most people don't focus on. They just focus on the good parts of what's going on. And I hate social media. And I tell everybody, I can't stand social media and I wish it would go away. I wish somebody could just wave the flag and boop, no more social media. No more TikTok, no more Facebook, no more Instagram, no more nothing. And just go back to regular people, because that's where the teaching is. And again, nobody on social media tells the truth. I mean, we might think they do. You know, for all the people who are watching this right now, they probably be saying, oh, he full of shit too. So be it. But what is real on social media? You understand what I'm saying? How do you know? You don't. For me, Tony, it is about that impact. It is about that person like you or others that can say, you know, I actually sat down with him and I talked to him, and no, he kind of, he like, yeah, you know, he's real. It's a real deal. Not, oh, look what he posts on social media. You know, he's riding in a Bentley. And not care about none of that.
Yeah.
That stuff here today, gone tomorrow. You know, we have to put a lot of our focus on just keeping it real. And I think we'll go a lot further that way. You know, so your mom and pop ain't just a mom and pop. That mom and pop supports the actual life of functions of people. It's a thrift store. I'm gonna say this because back in the day, and still now, I still go to thrift stores and get certain things. You know what I'm saying? And on the flip side, I done give a lot of stuff to thrift stores, and I see, you know, young people who, you know, and I'll be like, it look like my shirt. But you know what I'm saying? But
for sure. Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's just building. That's building our own systems. Because I told you, like how I said, we got to be able to feed ourselves, house ourselves, clothe ourselves, educate ourselves, employ ourselves, and protect it. So, from my security company that I'm a part of to everything that I do, it's gonna fall up under that building a nation mantra of us doing for ourselves. So, you know, it's like I say, I don't have a problem with it because I know. Yeah, I'll tell you. Yeah, I got $1 billion mom and pop store. I mean, a pop operation, because I know with the right situation and the right people around and the right executing, like everything I got from the House of Resources, that building, that's a $300,000 investment. The bank told me no, investors told me no. I sat down with the owner and him and his lawyer signed it over to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my grind. That's my hustle. I've never in my life, the few properties I own, everything I ever did, I don't know nothing about credit, and I ain't never got a bank loan in my life. This is just off grind and grit. You know what I'm saying? So if I ever just get into that other world and mix the banks and mix all this, it's a wrap. And I know that. So that's why I say it with confidence. And I want other people to understand that don't forget what everybody say. You know what I'm saying? Because it's about what are you trying to do? What, you know what I'm saying? Like when I opened up a thrift store, I looked at that because I'm like, okay, I study wealth. So I'm like, Goodwill eating off this, and I see it like that's heavy cash flow. And I've been doing business since I was 17. I'm 40. That business right there brings me the most cash flow with the least money going out. My overhead. I learned one thing about it don't matter if you make $100,000 if you gotta spend $90,000 to keep it going. That thrift store runs itself, and it's just cash flow. It's either people donating, not picking up stuff off the corners of people's houses, or I'm getting paid to clean out storages. It's free money, basically. You know what I'm saying? It don't take me no money, you know what I'm saying, to run that operation. I done had stores where I might make $1,000 a day, but have to go spend $800 just to restock the shirts and stuff that I sold today. So I really just made $200, $150 if you count the lights and all that stuff. You know,
you're right.
I'm looking at it like that, and that's why I got into those operations and stuff like that. So we just have to be, like you say, be real with yourself. Don't mean that I'm no lesser than. I mean, I sit around millionaires all day. I don't feel no lesser than no. I might pull up in my work truck with the window busted or something. Like, I don't feel no insecurities because I feel motivated when I'm around it. Some people feel jealous. Some people feel insecure. I pull up and I tell people all the time, I'm in my 20 plus years of this, right? Most of those years was done wrong because I was coming from a street mentality, and I didn't have no big homies to be like, you know, they ain't never opened up no store. They ain't never had no chicken restaurant. They ain't never did nothing. So to them, I was doing the biggest thing, even though I was running it the wrong way. I was doing all those, you know what I'm saying? I was running it the total opposite way, but it was just that grind that I want to do this. I want to figure it out. I want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to get in there. I ain't have access to just go talk to somebody like, hey man, I've been doing this business. I've been doing this for 30 years. You're wrong on this. Get your credit right. Do this, do that. You know, just pointing you in the right direction. I never been around that until like the last couple of years. And I got to fight that mindset of, well, you need to use other people's money. I'm like, but I'm used to like the properties I got. I only deal with people that say first sale by owners. The House of Resources, I got that because it said first sale by owners. Because I know if I go to the realtor company or a bank, I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. I know that.
That's true.
I'm not getting it. So
Yeah.
I built up a strategy that, okay, then these are the only people I'm gonna attack. I'm gonna either have cash or I'm gonna get creative. I was told if you have no resources, you need to be creative. You got to be super creative. So I done got properties by hustling up the cash for this little lot, or like I did House of Resources. Hey man, this is my vision. This is what I'm trying to do. This is what I've been doing in parks and stuff for free for kids. If I get a building, I can do this and that. We do a 2 to 5 year. Give me 2 to 5 years. I can have you out the way, either paid cash or by then I'll be able to go to the bank and get you out. Like I just gave them the whole play, and they was like, "Let's go with it. I'll sign this over to you now." You know what I'm saying? That was just my creativity because of my lack of resources and my grind and my gut. And the husband and wife said, "Hey, we getting old. Our kids gonna sell it off anyway. Run with it." You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like I don't feel no way about being real about what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then meeting people like you. And when I got the House of Resource, I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I know if I do it, stuff is gonna come. Now
Exactly.
I'm running into people like you and other people like that. It's like, okay, see, that energy is out. I threw that energy out in the world. Now it's coming back to me. Now it's time to really take this to the next league.
Exactly. And it will. You know, one of the things that, you know, my mentor, Nick Stewart, told me was, he was like, it's okay to fail at everything you do. He said, the only thing you don't want to do is quit.
Yeah.
He goes, once you quit, that's it.
That's it.
You know, but you can fail all day long. And oh Lord, you have no idea how much stuff I done failed on, you know, but I didn't quit.
Yeah.
You know, I met people like you who were, you know, just as kind to share information with me. And again, it goes back to what I said about this false reality that the new generations live in. You know, they live in this false reality of, you know, being influenced that these things are the way of life, I guess you could say. But we have to take it back old school, like what you're doing. That's where it starts. Let's get rid of the phones and the tablets, and let's just keep it real. Okay, did you know about this? Did you know about growing your own food? Did you know that you had to do this? Do you know why you don't want to be in gangs? Do you know why? That needs to happen in order for, you know, our culture to be relevant in the years to come in the future. And I was telling somebody, I don't know if I told you, but the last meeting I had, I said, just Google African Americans net worth by 2053. Just Google that.
Yeah. I heard about that. Yeah.
Zero. And I'm not talking about, you know, just some off people saying it. No, these are credible institutions, including Black ones, that are saying it. Yeah. That by 2053, they're now calculating sooner.
Yeah, because of COVID, they said it's sooner now. Yeah.
Our culture, with the Hispanics falling right behind us, just those two cultures, zero net worth. So what does that mean? Does that mean we won't have money? That's not what that means. We can have money all day long. We can have football, NFL contracts. Yeah. Net worth is totally different. Yeah. And net worth equates to assets. Okay. What do you control? Okay. Not what you own.
Yeah.
You know what? You can own a pair of sneakers, but not control anything.
That's big. My mentor used to always say
exactly
that I don't want to control everything. Yep.
Exactly. And so my whole journey in success has not been about what I own. It's what I control. Okay. That's how you enter into keeping some type of net worth so that you can build the legacies that you need to build. You understand? And I think if nobody's preaching this, or if you didn't have shows like yours that aren't bringing people on that's real about this, the new generations will never know. They'll continue to do what they do. And that fact of zero net worth for our culture will truly be a fact, okay? Because it's already shifted that way. We don't know how to spend our money. Our money goes out one way, never comes back.
Yeah.
We own many businesses, but we control nothing.
Yeah. I say we got to get it. We had this discussion. We need to own it from the ground to the plate, from the ground to the shirts. I said that in the meeting. It's cool to have a CEO Youth League shirt on, but I need to own the cotton field that this shirt, the cotton that came from that. We got to do it all. We got to own the manufacturing building that made this shirt after the cotton field. We need to own the trucks that picked it up from them. We've had this discussion, and people don't get it. They think, oh, at the end, well, I got a little boutique. Yeah, you missing out on all the money just having your little storefront. And most of the time, 99% of the time, we don't even own the storefront that we selling our little boutique stuff at it. So we still missing the ball, even at the end of the road. You know what I'm saying? But it
Even
looks
if we do, let's just say this, because like I told you, I've been checked lots of times.
Yeah.
And that's why my mentality is different.
Yeah.
Even if we do own the building, that's the only thing we control, the building.
Yeah.
You don't control the water that comes through it. You don't control the electricity that goes through it. You don't control the furniture that you buy that's coming into it. You don't control none of that. So without building some type of level of control. Now, what do I mean by that? Because a lot of people always ask me when I talk about this particular topic, they're like, but this is possible. You're never going to be able to control. Wrong. There are people out there controlling the oil that we refine to put in gas stations. You might own the gas station, but you don't own the oil. But you can own the oil. Yeah. Okay. We have to start building our mindsets to think like that. That's what I do. Like if I do something, I'm like that. If I'm gonna sell weed, I'm gonna control the growth of my weed. Yeah. Ain't nothing gonna stop me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna shake off the seeds, and I'm gonna put them over here. I'm gonna cultivate. I control that. You know what I'm saying? And even though, if you think about it like I think about it, Tony, it makes a lot of sense. We're never going to have ultimate control. Okay, nobody has that. Yeah. But in the sense of growth, especially for our culture in building a net worth, we have to be able to enter into something that we manufacture from inception. Like you said, let me buy the land. If I got the land, let me just start learning how to grow cotton. You know what I'm saying? And then that cotton becomes the source of all the mattress makers and they buy from us. Well, we're lacking in that department. Okay. Even though we make things and manufacture things, maybe from scratch, really we're buying the source of those products from someone else. You kind of understand that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And that's something that, I didn't want to do. I said, if I ever got to the point where, I made some money, if I'm going to make something, I'm going to figure out how to build a facility or at least invest my money into something that I know I can control and I can make up as much of it as I want to. And if you know me, if you just go right back to the hood life, right? Because I said everything in business is about the hood life. Like the most successful people on the planet is drug dealers. Yeah. They make all their stuff from inception. You know what? They go get the coca leaves. They mix the mix with the mix and they make this and boom, total distribution system under their control. Okay. It's not like it's different if the cartel is controlling it. They're controlling their own. That is the point with business. So, anytime you have a grand idea of something, I don't care what it is, House of Resources, can you take it to $1 billion industry? Yes. If you take on the concept that whatever I'm building, I'm going to control everything that exists around it. You put one here, you put one here, you put one there, I didn't say it would be an easy process.
Yeah,
I
yeah, for sure.
said that you could grow it and control it to be at those levels.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's not reinventing the wheel. People have been doing it for mega centuries.
Yeah. And cultures like, man, I was talking, had this conversation today. I'm like, it's people that's been dead for 30, 40 years controlling this world still right now because of their trust, because of their family offices, and because of what they put in place. We don't even understand that concept. Like, it's people that's dead, that's been gone, that control more than what we control, and we allow running around every day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, I definitely you preaching to the choir on that type of conversation, man. And that's why I was so excited from meeting you and having that conversation, because, and I even told Ms. Brown that, and I'm gonna have to end in mid, because we got a bridging the gap. She's gonna be like, "Oh, you didn't cancel our show because you hit it off." You know, she was already checking us last time. Like, y'all ain't gonna do this to me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I need to text her. But yeah, so when I was telling her that, I meet people all the time. Some people I can do business with, that we can make some money, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Then I meet some people that we can actually build some because of the similar mindset, you know, and that's a different type of feeling. It's cool to meet some guys that you can make some money with. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But when you meet someone that you is like-minded, it's about the culture, it's about the community, it's about building wealth in the control, and see it, the whole thing, the whole picture the same. That's kind of hard to see. You know what I'm saying? You kind of meet somebody like, you're a little wacky on this end, but I get you on the money part. You know what I'm saying? Or you get some people that don't want nothing to do with the money part, but they get you on the street part or the culture part. Or, you know what I'm saying? So you always get bits or pieces of people that kind of rock with what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But to really, and like I said, we still getting to know each other. But I mean, every time, the few times we conversate, it's like I'm just like preaching to you. You preaching, and we're saying the same thing, and it's like it's not even. It's nothing forced. It's nothing even scripted or nothing. It's just like, man, just the way I've been seeing it. I thought I was alone seeing it like that. You know what I'm saying? To see a big homie like that's really doing it, that really did pave the way. That inspires me. I'm like, okay, I feel alone a lot. I feel crazy sometimes because people look at me like, man, you crazy. Like you said, you can't do that. You can't do that. That's impossible. That's this. That. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's actually people that's waiting on me to fail just so they can say, I told you can't go that system. I told you can't build your own system within a system. I told you.
Oh, yes, you can.
Yeah, all this building a nation stuff is crazy. This and that, that. And like I tell people, like, man, I can't fail even if everything disappeared today. I can't fail because of my mindset, right? I start over tomorrow because it's in my head now. Like I'm unemployable. It's just a lot of things that I can never go back to just because of the way my mind is tooled now. You know what I'm saying?
Well, to correct you, you can fail. You just can't quit.
Yeah.
You know, you can fail every day, man. That's just a lesson. But quitting is different. You're like me. You can't quit. You won't quit. If somebody put you in a cell and say, we ain't letting you out, you still wouldn't quit.
Yeah, no.
You figure out some kind of way
how to
do something.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, for real. So that's why I really enjoy it. And we just got to talking, man. And I want to dab into you a little bit more, the incubator. But this is a conversation that we're kicking off. I know you don't like social media and all that type of stuff, but I definitely want to bring you back on, because like these conversations need to be had. I don't care about no hurt feelings or none of that, because feelings need to be hurt. If we want to really make, and that's why I tell people, they be like, oh, we need to all come together. No, we don't. I don't want to come together with all of us. Do you know what the ancestors were infiltrated? Movements was killed because you tried to bring everybody that looked like you in, and that's just a losing strategy, first of all. But
when I make a correction, so you know that I'm not holding back on when I speak. When I talk about unity, I talk about it from a perspective of if we want to, we got to stop judging each other. We got to stop looking at somebody and judge them because they got gold teeth or because this person ain't driving, a Bentley or whatever. We got to stop doing that. And we have to come together because there's a lot of talent in all of us. Okay. I don't look at any single person, Tony, and I'm serious. And I know you got your next session getting ready to go on. But I don't look at anybody who's in my culture or any other cultures for that matter, you know, with judgment.
Yeah.
It is what it is when I meet you.
Yeah.
If it ain't gonna work, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah, that's big.
If it's gonna work, it's gonna work. But I'm not going to sit up here and say that, yeah, unity will define where we go. Because look, you see where we at, right?
and I tell people all the time, we unify, we super unified, but we're unified in an unproductive way. We unified in not getting along. We unified in not working together. We unified in not spending money. So we are unified.
Exactly.
We just unified in the opposite direction.
Exactly.
Of what we got going on.
Exactly. You said that right on the nose. And I don't mind those conversations. I have them all the time. You know, most of the time they're behind closed doors, you know, and they get rough, you know, but I don't mind saying them on air because I really don't care what anybody thinks about me. I ain't living in this world for everybody else. You know, I'm living to do what I will sit here to do and to serve my purpose. And to this day, I think I've done a really great job at it. And there are people out there, you know, who will vouch for that, you know, and come to my rescue if somebody gets out of line with me. And that's the impact that I want to leave. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you said, what about Mr. Kemo? Whoop, it's time to get this. It's time to throw the hands, you know, because those are the people who truly know exactly who I am and what I'm trying to do. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you, man. And this could go on forever because I'm right at home talking to you. But I know we're gonna link up this Saturday, and then I definitely we're gonna schedule. I know you're busy and stuff. We're gonna schedule another time so we can really dab in to what that's what I'm saying. That's why I love the conversation because all this is natural. I ain't even get into no questions or nothing. It just
I know.
And we know we're already over an hour. You know what I'm saying? And it's just that natural flow off the top. So we got a meeting this Saturday that I'm definitely gonna be at, and we're gonna build from there. So a lot of stuff that, you know, everything ain't meant for lives and all that stuff anyway. You know what I'm saying? But the mindset and the way what we're trying to build, that's the stuff I like to put to the people. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the hardest part of our community that we got to change, man. So
I'll let you know that I normally turn down everybody seriously who asks me to come do with podcasts and stuff like that. I usually say no, but for some reason, you know, I was like,
I appreciate you, bro.
He keeps it real. That's where I want to be. I want to be with people who keep it real. I don't want to be this fake, answering all these fake questions and talk about your cars and your ring. No, I don't want to talk about none of that. Let's get down to what the real issues are. Allow me to do that, then that's what I'll do.
And I'm unpopular in a lot of. You just put it like this: if I faked it like a lot of our culture do, I would have more sponsors. I would have more youth in my program. I would have a lot more of everything. But I'm not going against what my principles is for all that. We're gonna do it this way, and we're gonna do it on real, and we're gonna do it on impact. Or I'm cool. If I gotta struggle, if I gotta whatever I gotta do to do it the right way, I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do it the popular way because obviously the people that's most popular doing the least. The people that claim they got the most money. I'm like, it's organizations that raise tens of thousands of dollars, sitting on probably $100,000-$200,000, and they got a house of resources with 15 kids in there right now. They got way more money than me. I tell people I ain't even got no shoestring budget. I ain't got no shoestrings, but I know about impact. And if I didn't have a house of resources, I'd be doing that in the park somewhere because I understand that as long as I'm in front of them youth, I can give them some game that I don't care how much money you got, this and that, you can't give them. You know what I'm saying? Because I live that life, and that's and that's the end all be all for that. You know, so
no, you're right.
So we gonna definitely keep this conversation going. But I'll see you Saturday. I appreciate you coming on. Do you want to let anybody know about the website, anything they can find you at for your incubators? Because I need to join. I need to join into the adult version because I need you to put me in the head. I can go ahead and say, get this mom and pop store together, bro. You got a corporation. You
don't need the incubator for that. You got me. You just tap into me and I got you. You know, that's how that works. Incubators for other people, but I got you. Just like I do with everybody else. But if people want to know more about what I want to do, they can go to www.iccunlimitedllc.com. That's the main company. And then we have a bunch of subsidiaries that are attached to that, of other, sister companies and brother companies that we actually, are scaling up and moving. And they're all pretty successful, but they all offer a lot of opportunities to, especially our culture. Like we have the ICC BBOA, which is the Black Business Owners Association. Yeah. They can find that one at ICCBBOA.com. Go on and read about that. Look, the information is out there, and we got you. If you need that help, that's why I developed the companies, and they didn't get to where they are because, we stepped on people or, we took money from them. No, it's not even about that. It's about really sharing that information. So again, that's how you'll find us, and just go from there. And, if I can help, I'm gonna help. I'm in it for my people, man. I'm always gonna be in it for them. I'm always gonna develop for them. I'm always, until I die. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully I'll pass it on to you and whoever else, and y'all keep it going.
I'm about to be a sponge. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I can't wait till Saturday. We were supposed to, I normally raise money on weekends, but these kids beat me up this week. I said, you know what, Saturday, I'm gonna hit our meeting, and then I'm resting after that. You know what I'm saying? So I can just get my mental together. So yeah, Saturday, all I got on the schedule is you and feed my chickens and rest. That's all I'm doing Saturday. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you, man. I got some stuff for you. We gonna chop it up, man.
I'm willing to put everything on the table about what I'm doing, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I know what I got. I know what it should have been. I know what it could be, and I know with the right people and the right guidance what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? So I'm an open book. I don't fake front. I don't need you. I need to make him think I'm bigger. No, this is exactly where I'm at. This is what a lot of things you tell me. I'm already be like, yeah, I know. I'm tripping. I know. Yeah. So I'm one of them type of people, and you can't hurt my feelings because when it's coming from a genuine spot and you trying to see me do better, tell me the roughest, toughest stuff that you see that I like. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I know. And I know that's why I say I see how you brace yourself for our community, because most of us don't like that. We don't want that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was like, let me call that out, because I already see he just said that a couple of times. I appreciate you for coming on, man. I definitely want to have you back, and we'll talk about that when we sit down Saturday. But I'll see you Saturday, and man, I can't wait. I'm excited, man.
I'll be there, man. God willing, blessings. Again, anytime, my casa, su casa. Anytime for you. And I'll be happy to come on anytime you need me to come on, man.
Man, that's big, man. That's love and respect. Well, I'll see you Saturday. I thank you for coming on. And this was another episode of Wealth is Gangster. We'll have Mr. Kemo back on here real soon. And hey, we about to do some big business. So when y'all start seeing things get whipped into shape, don't be surprised. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
All right, man. Oh, yeah. So thank everybody for chapping in. Akeem, Mama Brown, and the rest of y'all, and everybody that's going to chap in. I will be back soon, man. I salute you, Mr. Kemo, and I'll be talking to you. I'll probably hit you before Saturday just to tap in with you, but I definitely see you Saturday morning.
Yeah, I'll be here, man. I'm on vacation right now. That's why, I'm keeping things kind of like just kind of quiet. I'm just taking some me time, but I'll definitely be there Saturday. So if you need me, And again, thank you. I appreciate it, brother. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I got your back. I'm going to roll up there when I get a chance, and pop in on the school, when I get a chance. But
So we're gonna connect it, and that's something we'll talk about in the next one. How we gonna connect the CEO Youth League and the incubators and all that.
I got something for you on Saturday.
That's what I'm saying. We'll break that out as we start putting it together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you'll see. You gonna like it. You gonna be like, oh damn.
I'm with it. Wow. I'm with it. Bring it on. All right. Well, I'll talk to you Saturday, man. You have a great night.
All right, you too, bro. Later.